how did you get rich?
I've always been an entrepreneur.
You've been an entrepreneur?
My whole life.
I invented gel nails, 1981.
Actually, so have you always been a business owner?
I'm an inventor.
You're an inventor?
Yeah.
What did you invent?
Have you ever seen one of these?
The Whoop. You created Whoop?
Yeah.
More than $10 million?
A lot more.
More than 100?
I'm not gonna tell you. They're gonna get me kidnapped.
If me and you died tomorrow and you had one more guiding principle to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
Follow God.
Best thing to do is keep trying. Babe Ruth led the league in home runs and strikeouts in the same year.
I think you gotta find something you love and be obsessed with it and chase it and chase it and chase it.
But whether you're gonna be the best lawyer, the best architect, the best real estate guy, whatever it is, it's gonna take a lot of time. So don't count other people's money. Don't compare against them because remember, comparison is the thief of joy.
Number 1.
You guys, we just got to Dave Ramsey's headquarters out here in Nashville, Tennessee. Listen, you guys, I don't think you realize Dave Ramsey is a billionaire. When you see these big buildings all around here, this campus, guys, he owns all the real estate here. He owns like 600 million, or I think like $800 million worth of real estate. I'm gonna ask him to see how much he actually owns and really the blueprint on what it takes to become a billionaire in today's world, you guys. So let's go meet up with the legend right now, Dave Ramsey, and go see what he has to say.
Dave,
How you doing, Dave?
James and team.
James. Nice to meet you, sir.
Good to meet you, sir.
We love all that you built, and you've been a big impact in the financial and in the business space, so it's super great to be here today.
We're honored to have you guys.
Yeah. Dave, I like to tell my guests I have one rule for all my interviews. There's no holding back. I need you to give them the blueprint on how to really build wealth and become millionaires in today's world. Can we make that happen?
I never hold back.
Let's go.
I didn't get here by holding back, dude.
I love that. What's your name?
My name, I'm Dave Ramsey.
And how did you get rich?
I've always been an entrepreneur.
You've been an entrepreneur.
My whole life.
Now, you've been a business owner for decades. What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Oh, this year we made $300 million at Ramsey.
300 million?
Yeah. God's been good to me.
So you do believe in God?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. How did you find God?
In my 20s, about the time I was going broke, I do everything backwards. And so met him on the way up, got to know him on the way down.
How much real estate do you own today?
See, this campus is probably $650 million, probably $850 million or so.
You own $850 million worth of real estate.
Something like that.
It's all cash.
Oh, yeah, I don't borrow money. You heard the rumor, yeah.
So are you a millionaire or a billionaire?
Probably a billionaire, yeah.
Probably a billionaire.
I don't really track it that close.
What are your thoughts on debt?
Well, we don't borrow money at all, ever, for anything.
But why? Think about the biggest companies in the world. Even Apple, they borrow money every single quarter. Why not take on that extra capital to scale even more?
It's risk. Debt equals risk. And the borrower is slave to the lender. And so we've gone slowly because we did it with organic cash. And so it took us a while. But then when something like a COVID hits, we don't go out of business.
How do you get the money to buy that property, though?
A little bit at a time. I mean, the first time we bought this particular piece of acreage, it was $10 million for 48 acres a long time ago. And we didn't have the money to do anything with it. We just bought the dirt. And we said someday we'll put a building on it. And we got the money. And we began to save and watch the cash flow. And the company was growing and just kept dumping everything we made into this concrete thing here, and it turned out to be a really, really good investment.
Patience was a very important ingredient to your success.
Yeah, and 2008, real estate was on sale. I had a bunch of cash then, and I bought a whole bunch of stuff at 15, 20 cents on the dollar. And I was buying a lot of really nice properties for nothing. So it was a great deal.
So when it comes to creating wealth in real estate, what is your best advice to somebody trying to become a real estate millionaire in today's world?
It's the opposite of what everyone else says, obviously. I'm going to tell you to pay cash and move slow. The interesting thing about real estate, when you don't have any debt on it, is it cash flows, like crazy cash flows, like lots of cash. And if you get one or two properties, pretty quickly they'll throw off enough cash to buy the third one. And then you get this positive snowball working in your favor. All this cash is coming at you, and you can move on out. So the hardest one is the first one, and the next hardest is the second one, and the next hardest is the third one. But if you buy good properties and you know how to manage them, and you get the cash coming in off of them, it'll lead you into another property.
I want to challenge you real quick. Take me back to the most life-changing conversation you ever had. What is the greatest advice you ever received throughout your career?
Nobody's going to come discover you.
Nobody's going to come save you.
Nobody's going to come save you. Nobody's going to come discover you. The Lone Ranger's not coming. The Cavalry's not coming. That's just in the movies. You have to get up, leave the cave, kill something, drag it home. And by the way, tomorrow, you have to get up, leave the cave. And by the way, the next day, you have to get up, leave the cave, kill. And even if you don't feel good, shut up and go do it anyway. It's just this constant plotting, and then you add all that up, and you get to stand here, and I go, how did we get here? One tiny little step at a time. One tiny conversation at a time.
Do you think that's something that my generation struggles with?
I have about 600 of your generation on our team, and I think it might be the best generation I've ever led.
Why?
Because you guys grew up with this magic wand in your hand, that if you push a button, stuff shows up on your front porch, or if you push another button, you can answer any question, or you push another button, anything you want is right there. And so I don't run into scarcity thinking much in Z's and millennials. Most of you guys are glass half full, and anything is possible because, by God, if you push a button, anything's possible, right? I mean, it's in your DNA, the way you were brought up, and it's just wonderful. The thing y'all get accused of, which is inaccurate, I think, is this entitlement thing. And of course, there's some idiots that are entitled, but the people in my generation were entitled. But I think what people get confused about, because everything's easy, y'all are always looking for an easy button instead of, and you want it fast. And the best barbecue is cooked the whole weekend, not in the microwave.
How old are you now?
65.
Dave, if me and you died tomorrow and you had one more guiding principle to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
Follow God.
Who's your God?
Who's my God?
Yeah.
The one and only, the great I am, Jesus.
Jesus is king.
Jesus is king.
I love it. You got amazing advice, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Pleasure to be with you.
Number 2.
Is this your Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
I have the biggest business media channel in the entire world called The School of Hard Knocks, where I interview guys like Shaq, Mark Cuban. What did you do to get a Rolls Royce?
I invented gel nails, 1981.
Actually, so have you always been a business owner?
1981, I invented gel.
What's the greatest lesson you've learned about entrepreneurship since 1981? That's 40 years ago. 40 years of business.
44 years ago. You got to keep trying, motherfucker.
What's the most amount of money you made in a single year?
I made over 100 million.
How did you scale out to do over 9 figures in sales? What was your secret to
Started
scaling?
with $200 on Venice Beach. Here's a picture, the first day on Venice Beach.
Oh my gosh.
$200.
So, and you invented that. How were you an innovator? How important was it for you kind of being an innovator and thinking, like, how did you come up with that idea? Tell me.
Use gel on my teeth. I took it from my teeth. It stayed in your teeth, it'll stay on your hands.
Were you a good salesman?
Always sell. Sell every day.
What's your secret to selling?
You gotta sell yourself first. I gotta go, nigga.
Can we pull up here real quick for one more minute? It'll be worth it, I promise you. We do 200 million views a month.
200 million?
Yes, sir. And we have 12.7 million across social media followers, so it'll be worth it.
Is this TikTok?
Yes, sir.
I got a chance to buy part of TikTok next week.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Are you thinking about it?
It's a lot of money, but it's the best platform in the world.
Absolutely. Did you borrow any money at any point in time? Did you raise money, or was it all bootstrapped?
Never had a line of credit, never had a mortgage, never borrowed money in 44 years.
Actually, why not? You didn't want to take on that
All
risk?
from profit. Sell gel for $25, that cost $1.
How'd you scale?
Just kept putting the profit back in. Just reinvest and reinvest.
What's more important, product or distribution?
Product and distribution. I'm in 90 countries. If you don't have the product, can't supply.
How'd you go global? Because a lot of people, they don't think about those international markets that they can get into.
1980s, I started traveling all over the world myself. Africa, 26 hours with a half-hour stopover. I knew in the 80s that global was the play.
What were those conversations like getting into foreign markets? Because a lot of people, they hear people say, oh, globalization, globalization. How do you actually go in? Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. It means a lot.
Hire interpreters, and you just keep going until you find somebody good.
Were you a good negotiator?
My mother said I could sell a cat off a dead fish truck.
Did you come from a rich family?
No, my father was a plumber. He used to clean shit in toilets.
Now, as a $100 million entrepreneur, what's the best financial advice you've been given?
The best financial advice in the world, save your fucking money and don't waste it on stupid shit. This car was 520 grand. I bought it at an auction for 175. I could buy 100 of them brand new, but I wouldn't spend 500,000 on a car.
Do you believe in God?
Of course I believe in God. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
How important has faith been for your success?
100%.
Did you always
100%.
Did you always have that belief in God, or was it something that you kind of got at a later age when you realized how
I
important it
think
was?
the most important religion in the world is act on to others. You wish them to act on to you. Don't do anything to anybody you wouldn't want them to do to you or your daughter.
Now, you're sitting in a Rolls Royce. This is a lot of people's dream car. How can somebody own a Rolls Royce in today's world? Give me one more golden nugget that a lot of people are missing out on. The younger generation, what are they missing out on in terms of business and creating financial freedom and creating the life that they want to live?
Best thing to do is keep trying. Babe Ruth led the league in home runs and strikeouts in the same year. This wasn't my first business. I failed 3 times before. When I was 18, 19, and 22. But I kept shooting, and then I hit the big one. So you got to just keep trying. You can't give up.
Could I get your number?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you,
ask
sir.
good questions.
Thank you, sir.
That's why you got a big following.
Yes, sir.
You kept
It's
good
different.
Yeah, but you kept good questions coming.
Absolutely.
You didn't get stuck.
Number 3.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, question for you, real quick. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
In my 20s.
In your 20s? And how did you get rich?
I'm an inventor.
You're an inventor?
Yeah.
What did you invent?
Have you ever seen one of these?
The Whoop. You created Whoop?
Yeah.
What did you build the company?
I started in 2012, so I've been building the business for the last 12 years.
How old are you today?
35.
Over these 12 years, what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
Well, the company was last valued at 3.6 billion, so at this point we've had some pretty big years.
So you own $1 billion company.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
I go all over the world interviewing billionaires to help the younger generation. Can I get a minute with you for our channel real quick?
Let's do it.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Harvard.
You went to Harvard. So you knew when you were at Harvard that you were not going to go work for anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue working for yourself is more work than working for someone else, but
Was entrepreneurship innate in you?
I think at the end of the day, I was driven by the problem I was trying to solve. It wasn't like I said I wanted to start a company. What company should I start? It was like, I want to start this company. I want to understand health. I want to be able to build wearable devices that millions of people understand and use to improve their health. Like, that was always the vision.
I'm going to challenge you right here. Give me a lesson about business that is not taught in business school at Harvard.
I'll say this, a lot is said of CEOs needing to have vision and empathy and strategy and business acumen. The single trait that I've found is the hardest trait in all of building business is courage. Your courage is going to be tested before anything else when you're in a real problem. Can you say the hard thing? Can you do the hard thing? Can you walk into the problem and own it?
Nobody talks about courage.
And they don't teach you that in business school, and you can't read it in a book. And so that's, I think, the single hardest thing to being a CEO is when shit really goes wrong, you're going to need to have courage. That's something you have to develop over time.
When was your courage tested?
Oh, look, I mean, there were various points in the company's history where we almost ran out of money, where we almost missed payroll, where the product was failing.
Did you almost go broke?
Yeah, of course. The company almost failed. I was a broke entrepreneur, 6 or 7 years into building it.
So 7 years in, you could have gave everything up, but you didn't. Why not? What kept you going?
Well, this is a crazy story. I remember in 2015, I was sitting on my couch, my parents' home. Whoop was kind of still struggling to go along, and I'm watching NBA basketball, and what comes on the screen but a Kia commercial, and in the Kia commercial, LeBron James is wearing a Whoop. And what was amazing about that is at the time, there was only 100 Whoop straps in the entire world.
Your watch.
Yeah, and one of them was on arguably the greatest athlete in the world at the time. And so when you're a fledgling entrepreneur and you're broke and you're trying to figure out how to make it, having these little moments of inspiration where you're like, wow, maybe this does have a chance. If he's wearing it, maybe a lot of other people will. Like, it gives you a second wind.
Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
No. I mean, entrepreneurship is a lesson in pain and suffering for a greater cause. And that's just something that some people want to wake up every day and do. And it's something that, isn't for everyone.
Yeah, I remember Elon Musk said one time that entrepreneurship is like eating glass and staring into the abyss.
And look, he's done it for, 30 years and built iconic businesses.
How do you feel about competition? Were you ever afraid to go into a competitive market?
No, I mean, in some ways we don't pay much attention to competition, and in other ways we just want to kill competition. So that's the balance you always want to have.
So talking about killing the competition, the one thing that you're doing differently from everybody else.
Well, we've built a product that's fully integrated, that has a brand associated with it, that really has the best data associated with it. And that sort of collection of unique elements has made it a product that people love and wear. And we've seen companies like Amazon, for example, like knocked us off and like tried to create an exact copycat product. And they had all the distribution, but the product failed because it was missing some of that magic.
Amazon tried to copy you.
Yeah, totally tried to copy us. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But you don't care that they're a titan in their space and that they're, the size of the company that they are today. You don't care about that.
Well, we certainly took it seriously when they came out with a product, but we also said we're going to win. In fact, we wrote on every circuit board, don't bother copying us, we will win.
My last question for you. In 30 seconds, give us the blueprint to building a $1 billion company.
Honestly, I think you got to find something you love and be obsessed with it and chase it and chase it and chase it. No one is entitled to be a great entrepreneur. No one's entitled to build a great business. And so you put that entitlement aside and you go do the hard work that other people aren't doing, and you look at a problem a little bit differently, and then it's persistence, persistence, persistence. You find a great team, you raise capital, and then boom, you'll do something special.
And just like that, we're going to build $1 billion business.
Exactly. That's
you got
all it
amazing
takes.
advice, my friend.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for your
This
time.
was a
and I
pleasure. Thank you, man.
Number 4.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, is this your Rolls Royce? Yes. And how did you get a Rolls Royce? What did you do to become wealthy?
See all these beautiful buildings around here with all these great retail tenants?
Yes.
That's what I do. I own and operate retail shopping centers throughout the state of Florida.
How long have you been in real estate for?
28 years.
Over these 28 years, what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
Not going to tell you that.
Could you give me a range?
No.
More than $10 million?
A lot more.
More than 100?
I'm not going to tell you. They're going to get me kidnapped.
Yeah, I go all over the world. I go all over the world interviewing millionaires and billionaires. Can I get 1 minute with you for our channel?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
How much real estate do you own now?
I own a lot of real estate.
Do you think a home is a good investment?
The home is a terrible investment. The home is not an investment.
But a lot of people would disagree with that, though.
Right, I get that all the time, and I argue this point with people over and over, and I actually own a home, and I can tell you it's the stupidest investment you could make. It is not an investment, neither is this car. It's not an investment. It's a luxury item you want to have. And I can take you back over time. Homes don't always go up in price. The problem is most people that are 40 years old and younger have never seen a bad real estate estate market. I've lived through them. And by the way, homes do go down in price.
So if somebody has $100,000 saved up right now, where would you put that money in today's world?
I'd go right into a commercial property. I'd find an asset class you like. The truth is, multifamily is the easiest one to get into. You could buy a duplex, a triplex, put $100,000 down. You could easily buy a $300,000-$400,000 property. You need to manage it yourself. You need to lease it yourself. You need to take care of it, running all the books yourself. Learn the game. Fix it up, keep it going, then eventually you can refinance it, pull some cash out of that, and go buy another.
What's the best time to buy real estate?
Always the best time to buy real estate.
Always?
Always the best time to buy real estate.
What about in a bad market?
Always the best time. If it's a bad market, it's a good time to buy, and if it's a good market, it's a good time to buy. You always want to be buying real estate.
Why?
Because it's generational. And if you're not going in with the flip, this is not like wholesaling and trying to get in and out. If you're going in and saying, I'm going to buy this property and I'm going to keep it for 10, 20, 30 years, it's always a good time to buy. And by the way, nobody can time a market, so you can watch all the stuff you want on the news, all the stuff you want in the newspapers. None of it's right. If anybody really knew, they'd be the richest man on earth. And one of them, Warren Buffett, will tell you all the time, you can't time anything.
What's your name?
Todd Napola.
Todd, the majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. What keeps people broke in today's world?
Lack of financial education. You know, I was never a great student in school, but the schools simply do not teach you what to do when you get out of school. They teach you how to be good at history, math, science, and so on and so forth. They teach you how to get into college, but they don't teach you how to get a mortgage, how to balance a checkbook, what to do with credit card debt, what's good debt, what's bad debt, why you should be buying a business, not buying a damn jet ski. That's what they don't teach you.
So let me ask you this. If you can instill one money lesson in every person watching this video right now, what would that be?
Don't listen to the masses. The masses are entirely wrong. The masses are going to tell you the right thing to do is to save in your 401k and your IRA account. It's going to tell you to buy a house and pay it off in 30 years and hope you get a job with possibly a pension and you're going to be okay. You won't. Take care of yourself. Be financially responsible.
Did you ever have anybody that doubted you in business?
Oh yeah, you're going to have a lot of doubters, but doubters don't necessarily doubt you because they don't think you could do it. They're just afraid you might do something that they're not doing, and then they got to hold themselves accountable. And that's a big problem for people. So don't worry about what people tell you. No, do your own thing, stay in your own game, and keep chugging forward.
What did you learn about entrepreneurship that surprised you?
It's way better to be an entrepreneur. Most people think it's scarier, but it's way better to be an entrepreneur than to work for someone else.
Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
Oh no. I think a lot of people think they are, but when you find out what it's like to be the boss, it's not always that much fun.
How old are you now?
52.
And if me and you died tomorrow and you could leave one more guiding principle to the younger generation, what would that be?
What worries me for your generation specifically, I have two daughters your age, is this image that's out there and everybody's competing against a non-existent thing. What I mean by that is you guys are seeing guys, especially in Miami, in Lamborghinis at 20 years old and living in penthouses. Everybody has a penthouse in Miami. There's not that many, but everybody seems to live in one. And there's an illusion that it's so easy and everybody has it and they give themselves stress. And you know, I'm gonna tell you, I have a guy in my office who I let borrow one of my cars because he won a bet with me as a joke. And he literally took pictures of the car and he posted a picture of himself on Instagram. And the other day he was down and I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, everybody's doing better than me. I see it all over Instagram. And I said, you're that guy. You didn't put in your post, that's my car. You're doing the same thing. It's just an illusion. Nobody gets there quick. Yes, there's gonna be some rich kids, but whether you're gonna be the best lawyer, the best architect, the best real estate guy, whatever it is, it's gonna take a lot of time. So don't count other people's money. Don't compare against them because remember, comparison is the thief of joy. As long as you're making forward progress and having fun, it's gonna be great.
You got amazing advice, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
It's been a lot of fun.